Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Distant Worlds Universe Let's Play. At the end of last episode, we had our two fleets, our first fleet and our invasion fleet moving over to take over this planet. Haven't actually declared war on them yet, so we'll do that quite shortly. We queued up some research bases as well, so we've got a couple here, just to boost up our research, make sure that we get up to around the 500 mark, to make more use of our research capacity. And everything was looking pretty good. So I'll just double check the Empire ratings over here, Empire comparison. So we are a long way in front in terms of population. Territory, not so much, but that doesn't really matter too much. Economy, we're in front, but not by a whole lot. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on there. Although we are about to go to war with these guys, so we should be able to knock back their economy a little bit. Strategic value, we're quite a way in front. Military strength is probably one of the big ones, and we are a long way in front there, so that is quite good. Top colonies here just sort of shows you the most important planets, or the most developed, and we are second only behind Utopia, which is the Ancient Guardian's homeworld. So everything is looking pretty great. What I'm going to do first is jump into the diplomacy screen and declare war on the Ricto Consortium. And they have, if we have a look here, so we've got all these sort of this key or the legend over here about all these different types of relations. So we can click on the Empire and have a look at their relations around the galaxy. They actually have mutual defense pact with these two nations. So we have the Daedalin Minor Alliance, they're all the way up the top and not very strong, so they're not going to be a problem. And also the Beno Seret territory. We don't know where they are, and they're only 515 military strength, so that won't be too much of a problem. So we are going to go and declare war on them and see what they say. So, where are we? Declare war on you. And yes, you think you would defeat us? You're wrong. We know where to hurt you. You'll be sorry. And I don't think so. So, what we're going to do, now they really hate us, which is fine. We don't really care. So we've got our two fleets, get the game running again. So we're down to running on 2 speed just because we're starting to get out a little bit more and a little bit more is happening. So just so we can sort of keep track of what's happening and not pause the game quite so much. So our troop general has acquired a new character trait, poor ground logistician. And where are we? So where are our troop generals? So we sort by role, come down to our 2 troop generals, and they're both on our invasion ship. So on our invasion fleet. So once we invade the fleet, I think I mentioned this before, once we invade the ship, the planet over here, sorry. Once we invade the planet, they'll actually go down to the surface and assist with the attack, which is fine. Royal Club is under attack, so it's one of our resort bases. And the Lone Network. So they've got 215 ships, which is an extraordinarily large amount. So we should be able to hold them off for now. Actually, it shouldn't be a problem for this first one. The ships aren't too much to worry about. They do have a lot of ships though, so they've expanded really quite quickly. So the Vicious Rock Ravagers offered us protection. We're going to say no. We do have our fleet over here, so they're going to jump over here and take out this enemy fleet. Our base should be more than fine because it's got quite a few shields there, and also got a defensive base here and everything, so that's all going to be fine. Won't be a problem, we're not going to lose any ships there. The Omega Major 1 defense battery is under attack. So this is going to be a little bit more of a problem. So these are the Huth Prowlers. They've also got 89 ships. So what I'm thinking we may do is pay them off. We do have a lot of money, so our cash flow isn't all that great at the moment, but we do have a lot of cash on hand, so we can afford to sort of burn through some cash for a little while. Our fleet is sort of occupied up here. There's no way it's going to get down to be to this area quick enough anyway. So what we're going to do is actually pay them off, or request a protection arrangement. Hopefully they don't try and extort us too much. Only 676, so that is really quite good. So we're going to pay them off and they'll go away and won't bother us anymore. Actually, before I go any further, I had a comment on one of the videos. It was episode 6, so obviously I'm a few episodes ahead. But someone commented, I'm sorry, I really can't remember their name at the moment, I haven't got it up, but someone was really great and commented that we had it did say we had a pirate base on our home world, so Alarun 2. So I'm thinking that maybe we don't. I think this high-speed shipyard maybe looks like a pirate hideout, but we don't at the moment. So what we're going to do, so what could happen is pirates will actually build. We do have one on our second planet. I do have a few out here actually. So what can happen? I'll just run through this pretty quickly for you guys. What can happen is pirates can actually build pirate bases or hidden pirate bases on planets. And then they can build hidden pirate fortresses, and then they can build something that's called, I really can't remember at the moment, they can build a third facility, and if they actually build all three without you do anything about it, they actually take control of that colony. So we really don't want that to happen. At the moment, we've only got one on each planet and then one building down here, so it's not too much of a problem. It's really only if they sort of build some more. But we're definitely going to want to take those facilities out. So the problem, what we have to do there, we'll have to build up our troops a little bit more, and then we actually have to come down here and attack them. And that will spawn quite a few pirates, so we'll sort of want to build up our troops just a little bit. We'll also get some population, some of our planet population involved in the fight, so we should be able to take them, but we'll probably just chuck on some infantry, some nice cheap infantry, and then sort of attack some of these bases and get the facilities off our planet. We definitely don't have one in our home colony now, which is quite good, and I was a little bit alarmed because it's quite unusual to have one on your home colony, or your home planet, I should say. So I will sort of put that away and look after that in a little while. So the Rick Token Consortium have terminated trade of a rare and valuable resource, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's probably to be expected. We can't expect them to give us stuff when we're about to go and attack them. Surely they're not quite that nice. So we went and took over that, or and fought off that pirate fleet. So we have the second fleet, which I believe, the second fleet here. Also got our home fleet here. So we've got two fleets in this system, which won't be a problem in any way, shape or form. So we're not going to be able to get attacked or taken over there. Do have a mining station under attack down here. This is probably by the lone. Is it the lone? No, yep, the lone network again. So these guys are based over here. We can see the little on the map over here, the yellow dot. That's their base. And if there's no more ships in this, we might... Oh no, it's only just been built. Actually, it's still unbuilt, so it's going to get taken over. So we're going to lose that base as well. So the lone network may be another one we're going to have to go and do something about. So they're over here. And we've actually got an expansion planet, or an empire expanded in this planet over here, which I've just noticed. So we'll look at that in a minute. We've had space battle debris discovered. So we've discovered a vast field of space debris in the Firmus system. It appears to be the remains of an epic battle. So we go to the event location, and here we go. So it looks like all of these ships are damaged. So there are actually no intact ones, which is a little bit of a downer. So it's depending on where they are. So about whereabouts are they? So they're a fair way away. So it's probably not going to be something. There's actually 2 debris fields over here. So it's probably not really going to be worth our time to send all our constructor ships over there. I think they're probably just better off doing their own thing and building some mining stations and some research stations and things like that. So we'll just jump over here. And this planet has absolutely nothing around it, so that is not a problem at all. So we've discovered a stone temple, and we'll go and investigate it. And it's given us a beacon location at F3. We'll look at that later. So what we're going to do now is actually send our first fleet. Now that we know there's nothing in this system, there's nothing to worry about. Our invasion fleet does have some protection around it, so we're going to send our first fleet onto the next system. So if we're lucky, we'll actually, well not lucky, our aim is actually going to be to take over both of these planets, which will be very, very good for us. So we're under attack again over here, and it's really nothing to worry about at all. So the pirates are going to lose some of their ships. The lone network's expanding really quite quickly, so they've already jumped up just in that short time that we talked about them. So we're going to have to definitely keep an eye on them, and hopefully they're not going to cause us too many problems. So here we have another notification. Our forces are invading the colony. So we just come down here, we see our transport ships coming in and unloading. If you have a look down here, you see the battle going on. So we've got 8k troops, 1k from population versus 663k of our troops. So this invasion is going to be a problem at all. And there we go, we've taken over the planet. So we've invaded and taken over the planet Char-Dilba 1. So now we have, because we've taken over a new populace or new people type inside our empire, we get a new bonus. So our recent conquest of the planet has brought the Restless race into our empire, imparting new special abilities to us. So we now have industrious miners, faster mining plus 3%. So that is quite good. So you actually come to see down here, negative 67 happiness. So that's what I meant before about this planet will rebel against us quite frequently until the war ends and we sort of can establish some control over it. So what we're going to do is come to the troop screen. Let's click on the troops down there. So Char-Dilba, what we're going to do is actually garrison these 3 infantry and 1 armoured forces. So that should be a bit of an overkill, but I think it's probably just safe to do for the moment. And we're going to select our first invasion fleet and say load troops. So I'll just come back in and load back all the troops again. And we found a Temple of Eternal Blackness. So we're going to investigate that, and it's given us another location in F3. Come up and have a look at those. F3, so they're both down here that we just discovered before. Our first fleet is over here. Now we just see a couple of pirate ships, it looks like. And we're paying them off, so that's okay. But this, this planet doesn't have any defences, and it's been recently raided and being raided again. So they're not going to be a problem at all. So the inhabitants of our colony are rebelling, so we only just took that over and they're rebelling already. So here we go. So we've got 77k troops. So because it's a really small planet, they're not going to be able to raise many troops against us. So that's not going to be a problem at all. So our first invasion fleet has loaded back up again. We're just going to send them over here to attack the next planet. So that should be good. This area has actually stayed the colour of an empire. So I'm wondering if there's actually a planet over here or a colony of the Ricto that we haven't discovered yet. Because they've still got, no, the Empire influence. It may just actually change over. It may just take a little bit more time to tick over. So it's sort of not an instantaneous thing, it does change, and you see them sort of flicker back and forth depending on the the influence in the area. So our recent invasion has caused our troop general to get a new character trait, which is good general, or good something or other. So usually it's got the word good in it, we should be pretty happy. Good tactician, that was the one. So they're both on Char-Dilba at the moment, so we're not going to need them for our next invasion, so it's not really worth transferring them to our invasion fleet. So we're going to leave them on the planet and get a little bit more experience from the constant revolts. So that's a little good strategy you can use. So Char-Dilba is under attack from a pirate cruiser, which is the Vicious Rock. So we're going to send our first fleet back to here because this planet doesn't have any defences. Which reminds me, we're going to queue up a defensive base, and we're also going to queue up or assign a mercenary smuggling mission to hopefully just get this this defense base built a little bit more quickly. So our planet's likely going to get raided. It looks like they're actually going to come in and probably raid us again. But we've got heaps of troops, so that won't be a problem at all. So here we go again. We've invaded and taken over the moon, whatever that name is, and so we've got another planet here. And as I thought, there's actually another colony here. So this one's only 101 million, so that's going to be fine. So what we're going to do with this one, come in here and queue up a defensive base, and also, this hasn't unloaded all our troops. What we might actually do, sort by location. We've only got 1 troop, so we might actually get our invasion fleet to unload on this planet. So unload all their troops onto this planet. So they hadn't actually done all of that before yet. So these are all actually recruiting. So it must have been what the Ricto were recruiting before, and it's just sort of continued over to us. So we've researched tractor beams, which is quite good, and we have another research queued up, so that's okay. Monetary gift from the Banu Seret, even though we're at war with them. But that's okay, we don't mind. If you want to give us free stuff, we're not going to say no. So our planet is rebelling down here. and it should be over quite quickly, 321k. So we'll leave a bunch of troops on this planet to fight off any invasion, and then move over and take over this planet. And that should be all the planets within this system. And that's going to unlock all of this area for us for colonization. So you can see we're actually quite a way away from our home system, our main system over here. So we're actually going to build another, probably an escort fleet, or like a system defense fleet, and like our home fleet we've got here, and actually send them over this way. And sort of look after, because we've actually got 3 systems here, so we've got quite a bit to look after. So maybe send over our second fleet, and then we send our first fleet back to repair and refuel, and also our invasion fleet later on. Might even send our second fleet over and station them over here permanently. And once these planets get developed, we'll build a starbase on one of them, or a starport, sorry, and that will be good. They won't have to come back here and refuel and repair. So we've come up against an exalted citadel. So investigate, and another location. So our planets are rebelling. This one's finished. We're coming here, and we're going to leave 1, 2, we'll say 4, because we're not going to need a whole lot for our next invasion. It is quite a small planet. So we'd get an invasion fleet to load the extra troops on there. I think we're probably even going to leave. Looks like we can actually see into this system because we've actually got an exploration ship. So there's no military ships around here. They've only got a few. They're only recruiting, so actually don't have any troops on there at the moment. We'll just be fighting the population, so that'll be a very, very quick fight. So we'll load up our troops, which that'll be enough there. They've got 331k, and we're going to send them over to invade this planet, and that'll be good. That'll be basically our war done. We'll be happy with that. We'll make peace with them, and we'll be all set. So our race has begun our regular 7-year cycle, and we've got increased population growth for 2 years. So our colonies are rebelling, against us, and I'll probably do that pretty much constantly until we make peace, and perhaps even after then. So if we have a look in here, just as an interesting, you come down to population, and the biggest one that we've got actually here at the moment is we are angry at the recent conquest of our colony, and they're unhappy at being part of our empire, but that will go down over time. And resource shortages, and they're also unhappy that we're at war with their species. So there's a lot of unhappiness going on there, but as soon as we make peace with the Ricto, a lot of that should start going down. So it's getting good. Our troop generals are getting a lot of experience, which is why I left them on that planet. So every time there's a fight, they are getting experience, which is good. The first invasion fleet is invading that planet. We're actually going to queue up the second fleet. Actually, we're going to repair that first. And once they're repaired, we'll queue them up to come over here. And we've taken over that planet. So, first thing we're going to do now is come into diplomacy. We're only at war with, actually it looks like, which is quite interesting, the Daedalus and the Bene Gesserit didn't honour their mutual defence pacts. Although they're still friendly, so that's quite interesting. So they definitely are mutual defense packs. So that's interesting there. So we go to the Ricto and say we propose to end war. We could push for something a little bit more if they want to become our subjugated domain, but they've still got 2,000 military, so it's probably unlikely. So we'll just go propose an end, and they agree because they're getting their backsides handed to them. And that's pretty good. So the Ricto are down to 10 colonies. They've taken over 3, and we're up to 8. So it's quite good for us. The big thing is that we can now actually queue up a colony ship, which we are going to do here. Sorry, a little bit mind blank. Build a new colony ship and colonize the planet. So we're going to do that straight away. So this planet, the Gizurean planet here, independent, actually has 1.8 billion. So that will be really easy, quite easy to colonize. And that'll be another really good colony. So we'll end up having 4 decent colonies here. So let's have a look at our planet. So this was the one with the plus 10% empire-wide happiness bonus, which is really quite good. So we'll definitely take that. The planet itself is quite rubbish, so it's never going to be anything, but it's okay. This one is a 56%, 22k, so it's nothing too amazing either. And this one is a 29k, 76%, so it's sort of a bit of a middling one. But this one over here, it's 29k, only 73%, but it does have quite a decent population. So all these 4 colonies, none of them are going to be enormously outstanding, but they'll be okay. And the Ricto, showing their true colours and giving us money even after we just took 3 of their colonies. So we don't mind that at all. Feel free. We saw that Omega Major was under attack down here. And we've actually lost our defense base, which is a bummer. So it's the lone network. So we fought off which were they, the Iron Confederation before, and they've only got down to 120 ships, so they're not much of a threat, and we can see their base up there. But now we're having to deal with the lone network, and they're out here, and they've got 200 ships, so 10,000 firepower, which is basically what we've got. So they're a bit of a threat. I may actually take the coward's way out again and offer 2,700, which is a lot of money. Just thinking, we've got other stuff going on at the moment. We do have a lot of money, even though our cash flow isn't great. So, like I said, maybe a little bit of a coward and take that. Just because we're struggling to sort of defend some of these planets. We haven't got our infrastructure set up quite properly yet. We're going to have to look at reevaluate how we've actually got our fleet set up. So, may have to have a few smaller fleets, or build a few sort of planetary system defense fleets to sort of monitor some of these, or even look at building some more defense bases. So how much maintenance does a defense base cost us? So it's only 3,800 maintenance credits in maintenance. That's actually quite good. So I may even be looking at building, maybe worth looking at building 2 defense bases on each planet, or each outlying planet anyway, which may save us a little more. So we can actually look at that a little bit later. The pirates actually starting to come up against some really quite strong pirates, so we have to look at the way we do things. Otherwise, we're going to get attacked too much. So our freight is under attack. So who are they under attack from? It's the lone network. I thought we had that. So request protection. Yes, excellent. So they shouldn't be attacking us now. Why are you attacking us? Good. That's better. Mustn't have gone through before. I probably clicked something wrong. So the second fleet is repairing and refueling. I think that should be done now. Looks like everything's all done. So what we're going to do is actually send them over to this system here. And I think our first fleet and our first invasion fleet need refueling. We're still putting down rebellions on our planets, our newly conquered planets, but there's not a whole lot we can do about that right now. We'll sort of leave them to calm down a bit, and they will over time. So it's already down to negative 39, so this will drop down over time. So we've just basically got to leave some of our troops there. Haven't really got a problem with actually leaving all of our armoured forces on these planets. I mean, that if they'll just be sitting on our invasion fleet anyway, not doing a great deal. So, yes, that should be okay for now. So, send our second fleet over, send our other 2 fleets, our invasion fleet, and our first fleet back to repair and refuel. And that should be pretty good. Pretty good indeed. So we see this is the the Ugnari Industries. And they got 6 colonies, 6 billion population, 1,100 military strength. So they're expanding out. So this is quite good that we've actually expanded out this way. It looks like there's a potentially colonizable planet here. So what we're actually going to do now is jump into expansion planet, have a look, see what is around. So this is the independent planet that we are going to colonize anyway. We've got 2 other ones down here. This one that we've rejected before because it's a small planet and rubbish quality. We've got this one over here, which is the one I just mentioned, which is really small and not great quality either, though it does have a hidden fortress on there, but it's not really going to do anything for us. Don't know the details, but I don't think it's going to make up for the fact that it is a rubbish planet, so I don't think we're going to do that either. So there's no actual other colonizable planets that we've come across. There's still some out here we haven't explored yet. I've been offered another Empire contact, which we'll take. The Sapula Empire. So 8 colonies, 5 billion, and 292 military strength, so they're not going to be a worry either. So it looks like there's only going to be a couple of sort of really strong empires that we're going to be fighting out against, which is usually the way these sort of games go. We've had nuclear supercharging finish, which is give us new reactors, so improvements to the fission reactor, so we won't have to retrofit our ships or starports, which is good. So for our next one, I think we're going to go for enhanced hyperdrives, which will give us up to 9,375 speed, which will be a good speed boost now that we've got, especially over here, but even down here, some colonies that are sort of a pretty decent distance away from our, our main sort of power base. So if we have a look at our second fleet here, like it is moving quite slowly. So if we sort of based all our fleets here and we had attacks over here, we wouldn't get there in time to sort of defend our planets. That's why we're going to have to start stationing some fleets over here, and also look at building up our infrastructure, like our defensive infrastructure, and also our starport infrastructure as well, so that we can basically be self-sufficient over this way. So the Gizurean community have given us, or conformity, have given us a little bit of a gift, and colonies still rebelling, but that's okay. I'm not really going to go and bother wasting our time looking at those, because we know they're going to be put down. So we have quite strong strength forces on those planets. Offered us discovery, no thank you. So our private sector is now up to 172 ships, which is quite a lot, which is really good. So it shows that they're doing quite well, which means that if they're doing well, we're doing well. Negative 35,000 cash flow, but we've got 70,000 bonus income this year, so we've actually made a profit still. So our bonus income is spaceport, 60k, resort, and 10k. So I suspect the private income has either upgraded a lot of their ships, or we're actually building a lot more new ships now, up to 170. It's probably a lot of those new ones that they have built. So everything's going along quite well. Did we queue up another? I can't remember if we did or not queue up. No, we did not. Queue up a defensive base here. And I think we already had a smuggling mission. No, but we're going to assign one, just to make things hopefully go along a little bit quicker. Put down rebellions, offer protection, no, and while I think of it, go and check and build defensive bases on these planets. So one there, one here. I should have done this earlier, that's okay. I'll actually assign smuggling missions as well. I mean, it may not be worth it. It'd be interesting to hear from you guys, a little bit more experience than me, maybe, whether you think smuggling missions are actually worth it. So something I sort of generally only do for sort of outlying newly conquered places, that it will take a while for our private sector to sort of get their act together and get out there and deliver all the goods that we need. So we've had our holographic entertainment has been researched, which is good. So we come down here, so we've got advanced medicine, and now we've got improvements to recreation center. So they're both improvements to existing modules, so we won't have to retrofit. So what are we going to go for next? Don't think we really need countermeasures or target tracking. We're doing quite well in military. Long range scanners, probably not right at this second. Colonization, maybe, because we don't really have all that many colonizable planets. So that could be, we could actually go for continental. So we wanted to steer clear of marsh, or marshy swamp, ocean, and ice. So we might actually research continental so we can colonize those planets. Could be the way to go, actually. Probably don't really need enhanced transport or storage. I mean, we definitely want them, but it's not like a pressing necessity. None of these sort of components really need to. Although we could be worth going for the holographic network, which is colony happiness. So if we're going to put that on our main colony, which is generally where we put most of the wonders, it's probably not going to do us a whole lot of good. So what we might do, actually, go to continental and then come down here, and hopefully we still will be able to have enough time to research this one. So have a look at our research. Still haven't built those stations, so I'll chase up on those in a minute. I did see before that, so this one's actually building out an energy research station down here with the pulse, yellow pulse coming out from. So that's good, so that'll be a new research station. Offer protection, no, and no. So going up to 28.5 minutes, so we'll be putting a cut in quite soon, but everything's going along quite well. What we're going to do is actually just queue up our first fleet to refuel, so they'll just automatically come back here and refuel. And we're going to do the same thing for our invasion fleet. So they've only got 4 armoured units on there, but it's fine. We're actually going to leave all our units here, and what we'll do then, we'll build up some planetary defence units on these planets later on, and then come back and pick them all up. So what we've had, secret construction project discovered. We've discovered a huge unfinished construction project in the something junction system. Under construction is an enormous mobile military base that houses a superweapon designed to destroy an entire planet. The base, named the World Annihilator, appears to have been abandoned when it was only half finished. Once this base is completed, it would allow the possessor to dominate the galaxy. In addition, examining the advanced technology in this project would no doubt provide significant research bonuses to our empire. We should hurry to finish construction of this enormous weapon. So we may, but it probably depends where it is. So World Annihilator, which is sort of this big one here. There's a huge amount of Guardians, or basically space slugs. So the World Annihilator there, so it's a project that from experience takes an enormously long time to finish. So I don't think, depending on where it is, so it's quite a way away. So it may be something we'll look at doing later on, but probably not right now. It may even be worth sort of letting maybe the Ricto or Pirates often go for it, to actually do some of the hard work later, and then we can come in and sort of steal it at the end and finish it off. So we're just not going to worry too much about that at the moment, but it is quite close to us, I guess, now we've got these colonies, so that's quite good. Another gift of credits, always take credits, so that's quite good. So our 2 fleets coming back to refuel and repair. Another gift, thank you. So our colonies are now rebelling and refuse to pay taxes. But this is better because they're not actually outright revolting. So they're refusing to pay taxes, but we don't have any tax rate on it anyway, so that's really fine. They can do that if they want to. They'll soon work out that it's better off to just submit and get over it. Saw a message before that our colony ship has completed. So this is the colony ship here. It's going to colonize this planet of independent Gizureans, which will be good. So that'll be a nice extra bonus colony there. So I think we're actually going to make this planet, given that the rest of the planet's colonies around here are a bit rubbish, we're actually going to make this planet our hub. So we'll build a defensive base first, and then we're actually going to queue up a medium spaceport. And that'll mean that we won't have to, like these 2 fleets here, won't have to come back to our home system to repair. And they can just sort of stay here, and we can make this area sort of look after itself a bit more. And it'll be like our staging base for our attack against the Gizurean conformity, and also against the Ricto down here, and probably over here I reckon they have colonies as well. So looks like we'll be expanding out this way quite soon, or out to the right sector now. Out here will be the way that we expand, because it is quite barren out this way, so there's not really anywhere that we can expand to out there. So looks like all the action is going to be out to the right. So what I'm going to do, we're running about 32 minutes at the moment. So I'm going to put a cut in here, and next time around we'll repair our ships, get our house in order over here, colonize this planet, and then start dealing with the pirate problem. So we're paying around 117k in pirate protection, but we still do have positive cash flow, so that's quite good. But I think it's really worth sort of re-examining the way that we defend our systems and doing something about that. So that'll be next episode, guys. So I'll see you all soon.